Hey, good night, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and guess what that means? It means it's time for dinner with Debbie. So tonight I am making a super quick but very nutritious meal, and hopefully you like shellfish because we are having Mussels Mariniere, and I got this recipe from Eric Ripert. He's well-known chef, and this was on the Flavr app, which I've been really enjoying using that Flavr app lately. That's spelled Flavr with no O, minus the O. So I'm going to get right into it because this is like a super quick recipe to do. So there's a few pieces of equipment that I wish I had that I don't, at least not yet. This should really be cooked in like one of those like chicken fryer pans, and I had to get rid of mine. It was just getting too old and I haven't replaced it yet. So I'm going to be making this in like kind of a stock pot, but a Dutch oven would probably also be a good thing. Very few ingredients, which is one of the things I like about it. And because I got the mussels, like the key is having really good mussels. This is not the ingredient to skimp on. This is the ingredient to spend the money on. And you know how much I love Pro Fish. You can order online, and there's several places to pick up in the Metro DC area. I usually pick up in Lansdowne on Friday mornings. And I just always get great fish, and shellfish, and even some other things, outside of the fish and the shellfish. I highly recommend that you check them out. That's www.profish.com. Check them out, order it. It's definitely worth the trip. So we're going to start off. I'm going to show you what my ingredients are first. I've got a little extra virgin olive oil, and I love the California Olive Ranch. This is the global blend. They do have other blends that are more, I think when they say global blend, it just means they're blending olive oils from different places, globally, where you can get like specific blends. So I just put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil into my pan, and I'm going to start that getting warm. I also have 2 tablespoons of shallots, which I've chopped up. I've kind of minced them actually. I also have, the recipe calls for 2 cloves of sliced garlic. Well, you know how much I love garlic. I did 3 cloves. We also have 2 teaspoons of all-purpose flour. I'm going to get my mussels out. Not these mussels, but the mussels in the in the shellfish. And then the only other ingredient would be the finishing, about 2 tablespoons of roughly chopped parsley. I'm going to be serving this alongside a salad. So while this is cooking, I'll put the salad together, and I have a special ingredient. We got a pint of delicious, I already snuck in and tasted them, but delicious cherry tomatoes from friends of ours, and actually a former client of mine, Doug and Abbey Buckel. Really tasty. If there's ever a plant that you want to grow so that you can harvest your own and it takes very little effort, it's the tomato plant. It's like either the regular tomatoes or the cherry tomatoes. You can grow them in pots, you can grow them out in the garden, and just the flavor that you get from having them, not the grocery store type, is just unbelievable. And I forgot, there is another ingredient that goes in with this Mussels Mariniere, and that is a rosé wine. And this is not the rosé wine I'm putting in it. It is the rosé wine, but this is what I'm putting in the recipe. This is what I'm drinking. But I thought it was interesting. Most Mussels Mariniere recipes call for a dry white wine. This one called for a rosé. So I thought that was interesting, and I thought I'd give it a try. And this is a nice one. I actually got this one at Wegmans, my favorite store. Here we go. This is the label. And what attracted me to this is that this was a Grenache and Syrah rosé, which these are two grapes. The Syrah and the Grenache, I love them both. And I knew it wasn't going to be super sweet. You know, I can't stand sweet wine. And I certainly don't want a sweet wine in my dinner. Maybe in my dessert. So now that the olive oil is heated, I'm going to add the shallots. My spoon. And I'm also going to add my sliced garlic. I'm going to give that a stir. See if you guys can see that. It's the problem with it being a stock pot. I have to get that up kind of high for you to see. And I've got this on about medium heat. So we're going to let that go a couple minutes until these are translucent. And since I chopped them up so small, it's really probably not going to take 2 minutes. This is going to cook up faster than that. I'm going to grab my whisk. And I really like these whisks that are silicone coated so that you can use them on the non-stick surfaces. Let me just make sure of something here. And this is supposed to be 2 teaspoons of flour. So now that this is kind of translucent, I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of flour in here. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It's not a ton. It's just enough to get it kind of making into like a roux, which is, you know, you get the flour incorporated with the fat, and you just kind of cook it, and you just don't want that like raw flour taste. And this doesn't take very long. Okay, that looks good. This is all coming to a boil. All right, so now this is the exciting part. We get to add the wine. So I'm going to see if I can capture this. So I'm going to whisk this up some more. And I'm going to get it back up to a boil. There's just something really, really nice about like walking into the house when it smells like cooking food, especially when it smells like sauteed onions, garlic, you know, all those things that you love. I mean, it just makes your house like smell so good. I wish they could make a candle that smells like this, because I would totally buy it. So we're about it, and we're going to bring this to the boil, which is just about ready. And while that's coming to a boil, I'm going to grab my mussels out of the fridge. So I've had these bad boys sitting in a bowl. I'm going to give them a rinse in the sink. I just like to rinse them off and get like any like residual sand and what have you off. These are already, when you buy them from from Profish. They're already like debearded. All the like, you know, stuff that you don't want to do is already done. So what I have here, this is they come in a pound bag. And since it's just the two of us eating, I'm just going to do like the 1 pound. So while this is boiling, we're just going to take these oysters and we're just going to pile them right in. And what you're looking for when you get oysters is that you don't see any cracked shells. You don't want to see any of them open already. That's not a good oyster. I mean, not a good mussel, I should say. But these are all really good looking. All right, we've got almost all of them out now. All right, let me get rid of that. Rinse my hands, and I'm just going to take a spoon and kind of give this a stir. And then I can already see them starting to open. So I'm going to take my lid and put this right on top. And we're going to let these go. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit because I just added all those mussels to my broth. And so, you know, I want that to, you know, get back up to boiling. And this is going to go for like 5 or 6 minutes. And again, guess what? Then they're done. So I'm going to put my timer on. And in the meantime, we're going to make our salad. So, one of the things I like to do, I hardly ever buy salad dressing anymore. I like to just make it myself. So I'm going to use the same cup that I had for the rosé wine that I put in here. And I'm just going to make my salad dressing really quick. And I don't even use a recipe. So basically, salad dressing is a very simple kind of ratio. You've got a fat, you've got an acid, and then maybe some seasonings, usually salt and pepper, and then whatever else you want to put in. Like for like a Greek salad dressing, you might want to do like an olive oil, a lemon juice for the acid, some salt and pepper, and then some oregano. Oregano is pretty famous in the Greek salad dressing. But tonight I'm going to make a balsamic. So I'm just going to take a little bit of, the ratio would be 2 to 1 olive oil to vinegar. So I've got that's about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Then I'm going to grab my balsamic vinaigrette and put about 2 tablespoons of that in there. Actually going to need a new bottle of this. I emptied it out. This one's done. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And I'm going to grind some fresh pepper. I love this grinder. And then I'm going to whisk it up. And then, you know, because like the bottled dressing you get usually has a lot more sugar in it than you need. It's got all these preservatives because, you know, it's sitting in your refrigerator for 5,000 years until you like throw it away. You know, if you just make your own, I mean, look, that was so quick. So quick. So the dressing is ready. So, and I'm just going to get the salad together like super quick. Let me get my ingredients. So I just have a little bowl here. I'm going to throw in, I have, what is this called? Sweet baby lettuce. So I have some, you know, sweet baby lettuce here that I'm going to use in my salad. If I can figure out how to get it open. Oh, here we go. And I'm probably only going to use half of this because it's just Mark and I. Oh, look how cute those little baby lettuce leaves are. I like the baby stuff because it's more tender. So I'll be able to get 2 salads out of this container. So there's that. And then I'm just going to use what I have. I have a cucumber. I'm going to slice that up. And I like to slice these up a little bit smaller. I like to slice them and then slice them in half so they're like that. Just because it's easier to eat. And then whatever else you have, I'm going to use these cherry tomatoes since Doug and Abbey gave me these really yummy cherry tomatoes. And I'm just going to slice them in half as well. Oh my gosh, they're so good. They're so good. All right, and get a few more of these tomatoes on here and slice them up. And I'm just checking my timer. We still have 2 minutes for the mussels. But I think what I'm going to do, it's boiling up pretty good, so I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. So the way I like to serve the mussels is in a bowl with some broth. And then I like to soak up the broth with crusty bread. Sometimes I get a baguette. But tonight I got I wanted bigger pieces of bread than the baguette. So I decided to get the Italian bread. They have, you can buy like half, like little portions of the loaf. This is their garlic Tuscan bread, which I thought would be really especially yummy with the mussels and the broth. The broth is like so rich and juicy and kind of briny from the seafood. Oop, there's the timer. Right, just in time. No pun intended. I'm going to move this stuff off of here. And I'm going to grab a bowl. This bowl is a little bit deeper than I would like, but I think it will serve the purpose. What we're going to do, ooh, I'm going to have to show you this. And give it a stir. Yeah. So what you're looking for with your mussels is that they're all open. You don't want to have any mussels that are still closed. That's not a good mussel. But I don't know if you can see that really. But those are some really good looking mussels. So I'm going to spoon out some of the mussels into this bowl. And I'm also going to spoon the broth. And I'm going to try to get as much broth in here as I can. Because for me, like, I love the mussels and all, but the broth is like where it's happening for me. There's a few more mussels in there. And the broth. All right, so really all you need to do, it's like I have my fork, and I usually have another bowl with the mussels so that I could put the shells somewhere. But yeah, these are really kind of hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of my bread and I'll taste the sauce. And after I taste the sauce, if I feel like it needs any more like salt or pepper, I will have at it. But let me just take a little piece of this bread, dip it in here. That's great. Oh, I forgot the parsley. So there's a little bit of parsley. And I'll take the rest of the parsley and put it in the bowl. That's really good. Really, really good. Delicious. So, I think if you like seafood, definitely check out the ProFish site. Definitely get the mussels and definitely give this recipe a try. It is so quick and easy. I don't even think it took 30 minutes really. Plus I made the salad and salad dressing. So I really look forward to hearing from you guys. And again, thanks. And I will see you next week.